Hi Capricorns, Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading. Today we have another bombshell reading. We do. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Let's see what we have, Capricorn, for you guys. And we have Going with the Flow. Now remember, Capricorn, these are general readings, so they can, doesn't matter what sign you are, they can resonate with you, right? They definitely can. So we have Going with the Flow, and here is the body flowing in the water. It's a very water card, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, right? Going with the flow. And instead of fighting the current, fighting, right? Fighting, kind of. It's really kind of going with the flow really means trusting your intuition and not fighting evolution and growth and maturity. It's kind of really what that means. Let's see what else we have. We have the laziness card. All right, so yeah, that laziness card, it can mean that somebody sees an opportunity and they just sit there. They don't do anything about it. It can. Interesting when we have Saturn moving into Aries. Anybody who is lazy or who doesn't have courage or who has not prepared or grown, because Saturn in Aries will not reward anybody who's been immature, because Saturn is about maturity, right? And Aries is about taking action, taking responsibility for your own life. And so is Saturn. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting here when we have Saturn enter Aries. Now, going with the flow and laziness, there is some type of a completion here. But, you know, going with the flow is a really good card. Somebody could have kind of stalled something here. It's a possibility. Yeah, and let's see what we have. And we have the morality card. All right, this is a card of, like, you know, kind of karmic lessons. And if you can see the face here, it's not a nice face. No, it's a face of somebody has their hands kind of bound. It's kind of this old kind of molded face here. And let's have a look right now, Capricorn. I want to see maybe the laziness card. Here it is. All right, here it is. All right, just see what they have to say. When you're lazy, it is a negative taste. You simply feel like you have no energy. You simply feel dull. You simply feel sleepy. You simply feel dead. And when you are in a state of non-doing, then you are full of energy. It is a very positive taste. See, it's a very interesting difference, right? And this is what the Tao talks about, being lazy, you know, compared to in the non-doing. The non-doing is when you're like, you kind of know what to do, but you're a little bit in reflection. You're kind of surrendering and letting things come to you, but you're not being lazy. Lazy is like blocking yourself, right? You're just like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, you know, and then you feel dull after it, right? I feel like we've all felt that when we were kids, right? Or younger, right? We're like, just being lazy, and you know, and then you feel like you don't feel good and you're wondering why, right? Of course you're not going to feel good about it, right? Yeah, and but when you are interesting, when you are non-doing, you're full of energy and overflowing. You're radiant, bubbling, and vibrating. You're not sleepy. You are perfectly aware. Interesting. So somebody learned here about themselves. It's interesting. Somebody was blocking something and stagnant, and they realized that, hey, I'm going to go with the flow. This is the non-doing as well. That's really interesting. We have the morality card. This is about morals. This is about kind of doing the wrong thing. It can be. Let's see. This is about, let's see. This talks about unless awareness arises in you, all your morality is bogus. So in other words, if you're not really aware of who you are, then, you know, you're not really having integrity, because your choices and your decisions and maybe judgment of others is all wrong. So you cannot never really have true morality, kind of ethics and things like that, if you are not aware of your divine self. Yeah, I know it's kind of a lot, but you know, that's this is coming out of the Osho Zen deck, and you know, this is based on the I Ching and the Tao, and the Tao is the right way to live, really. Yeah, it really is. Once your morality has come out of your awareness, not out of a certain discipline, like where you're trying to be moral, kind of, then it is a totally different matter. See, this is understanding the nuances of basically of your own divinity. Once you awaken, or once you are aware, then you will respond in every situation out of your awareness and whatever you do will always be good. Awareness cannot do anything that is bad. That is the ultimate beauty of awareness, that anything that comes out of it is simply beautiful, is simply right, and without any effort and without any practice. Yeah, that's an interesting, right? Because once you are aware, you never go back, and you handle situations with integrity. But the main one is the awareness. You can never do anything to anybody who is, when you are aware. It's like Buddha, right? Or, or anybody who is kind of ascended. They will never do anything bad to anybody mean, right? And somebody who is not aware can do all kinds of bad things, and they can say it's for the good of the people, right? We already know about that stuff, right? Which is not, it's not up for discussion today, but I feel like you probably guys are feeling what I'm kind of talking about, right? Getting up there and saying that they're doing the right for this group of people and it's hurting other people, and just all that. It can be a lot of BS, right? So let's see what we have. We have the chicken in the reading, Capricorn, and we have the rabbit, and we have the wildflowers. So there's something here that has been kind of, somebody's going to take a leap of faith. They are waiting to take this leap of faith with the rabbit. And the wildflowers, this is about a renewal with somebody. Yeah, and maybe it's like a renewal within yourself, possibly, where you go through this awakening and you feel so good you're just going with the flow of life, right? It's interesting about the flow. When you go with the flow, there's really no problems, right? And you're not making any problems, and you're not fighting things because you're aware, and so you are therefore going with the flow. Let's see what the Gypsy cards have to say today, Capricorn, about this. Let's see what we have for Capricorn, please. And we have the surprise card. So the surprise card is about an awakening. It can be about a powerful realization, right? And he's over there like trying to catch some type of, crabs with this netting. Instead, he catches all these money bags, right? And he's like, oh, so, pretty sure, and whatever's in these bags, maybe it's not money, but it's a surprise, and it is not what he thought. So there's something in this reading that is not what somebody thought, right? And now they want a new beginning, or now they are moving into their own new beginning, right? The chicken can be about somebody from the past sometimes, and it can be about also kind of feeling your tribe, the chicken, like lore, right? But somebody has awakened here, and the surprise is about an awakening. It's about, whoa, I didn't know that. I didn't consider that. But now that I'm going with the flow after this awakening, I understand. Yeah, and let's see what else we have. And we have the joyfulness card. The child is reversed. This is an ending of sorts. It is, yeah, there's some type of ending going on. And the laziness card is a completion. We have the messenger. You have an invitation, Capricorn, or a message is coming. It's either one. I feel like it is both. If somebody might tell you they had a powerful realization here, and they want to, this joyfulness is what they want in their life. All right. So, maybe they have ended whatever. It's not clear what ends here with the child's reversed. It can be about somebody maybe you had a child with, it's possible, but usually this is about a new beginning, the child, right? Typically. This can also be interesting with the child card. Sometimes it can talk about reversed, a lack of maturity sometimes. But I feel like you have some type of message coming about a renewal, or about somebody who feels like you are like splendor, splendor in the grass. We have sorrow. All right. So we know something ends, right? And she's reading some type of a note here that has made her cry. Right? Yeah. And as I just said there's something that ends with the child reversed. Somebody had an awakening in this reading. It's a big time awakening. It really is. Wow. So let's see what we have. If you guys want to get a psychic reading, Capricorn, you can always do that. I always check for accuracies. That's what I do, left and right. They're lots of fun. And you can get them in any format, a live format where they're very engaging, or you can get, a video recording, or both. If you don't know somebody, you just You just don't know them. You don't know what to expect from them or something like that. Maybe they're acting funny. Or for your own insight as well, not related to anybody else, your career, or something like that, right? You can definitely get a reading with me. The cards are done the same way. And Mystic Sense has a free 5-minute psychic reading, and you can get a past life reading with me, which is super empowering, helping you to leave past karma that you didn't know you were carrying around, right? Everybody carries some, trust me. And you can see it. You can see it with past life readings, of course, but you can see it just like I can, right? See that people have carried around. I myself, yeah, I'm definitely not, an angel in that way, kind of, if you know what I mean, right? And everybody carries past life because you're utilizing the Akashic records, your past lives, but also everybody carries it because of the South Node showing up in everybody's natal chart. Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, and everything's below in the description box. Bottom of the deck, Capricorn, 10 of Swords. So we know there's an ending because the woman is upset here. Yeah, she just read somebody's kind of Dear John letter, right? Or she got her walking papers, right? Yeah, and whoever kind of made that up is, I don't know, walking papers. It sounds so shallow, right? It sounds like you're working for somebody and, here's your pink slip, right? Your layoff, your discharge, right? This 10 of Swords can be a little like that, cold, right? It can. There could be betrayal here, but somebody could have gone through an awakening and they end a relationship. They're like, this, it's not me anymore, right? This is not what I want. The chicken can sometimes be like, I've returned to myself, like, I realize, kind of, right? It can be. So let's see what we have. And we're doing a past, present, and future reading today. We are for Capricorn. And let's see what we have. Now we have Temperance at the bottom of the deck. This is some type of balance and harmony, but healing. Somebody could be healing themselves. Maybe they want to heal a situation with you. But it is about a balance, harmony and balance and wisdom. That's really kind of what it's about. All right, let's see what we have. We have the Ace of Swords, Strength card, 9 of Pentacles. So this 9 of Pentacles can really talk about maturity. It is about a completion of sorts, kind of coming full circle. It's a little bit like the World card. And somebody could be really powerful here and self-sufficient because they went through an awakening. Yeah, and they are in a much better place, right? And this morality card talks about an awakening, and so does the surprise card over here. Unless you went fishing, Capricorn, and, I don't know, you put your net out and you got, I don't know, something really weird in your net. That's a possibility, but very unlikely, right? This is an awakening right here. It is. Yeah, and you're going to have news here because of the messenger. And remember, it can be an invitation or an offer. Yeah, because he's handing her this, which can be an invitation or an offer. It's definitely a message, but that's what that's about. Interesting. Okay, so now we have the Hermit, and we have the 6 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 8 of Swords. Let's move the camera back a little bit. And Capricorn, in the past, we see the Ace of Swords. This is a major clarity in this reading as the awakening brings. And yes, it is a new beginning. Yes, it is in this reading for sure. Let me just kind of straighten out this camera just a tiny bit here. So you guys, if you're looking at it, you're kind of looking at straight line here instead of kind of diagonal, so a little bit, or crooked, right? Crooked, not cricket. Let's see what we got. Yeah, all right. So now, Capricorn, the Strength card is next to it. So, this awakening brings self-mastery, and that's what Temperance is about here at the bottom of the deck. Self-mastery comes from balance and harmony, right? It's rooted in balance and harmony. As this 9 of Pentacles, she knows her value. She knows what she does value, and she has become super self-sufficient with that. Yeah, and this can be financial as well. It definitely can be. Somebody is doing well financially here after they have an awakening about their true divinity and who they really are. That's what this reading is about, right? That is the evolution. She could have evolved big time because evolution is about, like, it's kind of about a completion, the North Node, and getting there, right? Reaching our true potential, which is a completion, and so is a 9. So here we have courage, or self-mastery rather, and this is about for a new beginning. It's courage for a new beginning, and somebody for some reason is waiting to engage in this with the rabbit. This is waiting to take a leap of faith. And next to the wildflowers, it is definitely, I'm going to do this because I want to live with my splendor. I want this in my life. It can be a renewal as well. It's something very beautiful, the wildflowers. And now we have the chicken as well. The chicken can be about somebody's tribe, right? It's possible here that somebody feels like they are kind of connecting with their tribe, right? Or their divine tribe, or their divine partner. That can be going on in this reading. All right, so we have also in the past, and the past is about the lesson that's been learned here, right? This chicken can talk about a lesson that we learned from the past because it relates to the past. It's next to this awareness card. So somebody has learned lessons from the past. That's what the South Node is about. It is that those past life readings. It's about learning lessons from the past, and they can be karmic, which is big time, right? All right. So in the past too, we have the Ace of Swords, the Hermit, and the Seven of Wands. The Hermit is confirming this insight, spiritual insight, right, through reflection, right? The Hermit, and the Hermit, there's always a little bit of sorrow with the Hermit because he is completely alone and isolated, and somebody might have kind of dealt with sorrow. We have sorrow in the reading with the woman reading this message. So there could be a sorrow kind of a couple ways here, sort of. The Seven of Wands can be resisting this kind of backward thinking, or before I awaken, something like that, right? Somebody could have been a little bit immoral in the past, like doing stuff that was not really good, because we have the morality card, and this is more about immorality, right? Because if you can see the face, it's not a good one. No. And it's not because it's a lack of beauty, it's because you can tell this person is their hands are kind of chained, and if you can see the face, it's not a good one. No, it's just not, right? It looks kind of mean and backward and just stuck, kind of, yeah. So the Hermit always kind of a little bit reflecting a little bit of pain in finding insight, right? Yeah. So Seven of Wands is either resisting something from the past, or also or standing up for yourself as well. Somebody does stand up for themselves in this reading. They really do. And they're ready to take a leap of faith on something very beautiful. This is a really profound reading. I really believe it is, right? Now, in the current energy here, the Hermit, the Six of Swords, and the Three of Wands, there's a sacrifice for the future right here. And the Six of Swords is, did I say Wands? Six of Swords is learning. It is also learning from the past, but it is, I need to leave something behind here in order to have something better for my future. A major wisdom here, and a sacrifice of some level, right? And the Three of Wands is to have these boats, these ships here. They're not boats, they're ships coming in for the future. And they are inspiring, right? And this man has made a choice with his different colored checkered, sash, kind of. Yeah, and he had two things to choose from. He's looking at his future, and he's turned his back on the past. And that is really what the Six of Swords is about. It is. It's about, leaving the past behind, and let me get to a better place here with more wisdom. These are swords, right? Knowing what needs to be left out. So now we have also in the near future, not in the near future, but here in this current energy, Capricorn, is the Strength card. Maybe there's a Leo. Six of Swords, Eight of Swords. You see the release right here. This is, I don't want to feel stuck anymore. I don't want to kind of just hold on to this stuff that's really holding me back. The Eight of Swords is a card of release, but it's releasing your own self-suppression. Really, I didn't have to stay there, but I did. And now I'm not. I'm leaving that behind. This is moving into personal power. It really is, yeah, and it's pretty beautiful. Here it is. Now, with something that's being released in the current energy, let's get a card here on the Six of Swords that sits at the heart of the reading, which means a transition, an ending, and a new beginning, and a change. It's a kind of a gradual change, and somebody's waiting to take a leap of faith. They're ready, though. They are ready because they have had this awakening and they have moved out of this lower self, kind of, with this morality card, which is really conversely immorality. Yeah, it really is. And we have the High Priestess here. So this is all knowing, knowing what to do spiritually. And here's the Hermit next door. So this is spirituality gained, but it is pretty much gained through a little bit of sacrifice. And here is the Six of Swords, which implies a little bit of sacrifice as well. And so does the Eight of Swords, or release. It's the same thing, really. Kind of a surrender here, right? There is. To have this beautiful thing that's happening here. It could be a renewal. It could be a brand new beginning. And so Three of Wands right here showing up. Let's get a card on it in the current energy with the Four of Pentacles. It could be holding on to my values, how I've always been. It could be holding on to you, Capricorn. And here is the Three of Wands with it. It's about the future. This is all about the future in this reading, and that is why it is so beautiful. But this future is happening now, because it is the Three of Wands, which is the future, sitting in the current energy, right? Yeah, and here's the transition, bringing you or somebody there. In the near future, Nine of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and the Hierophant. And this card here is, this is all about the future, sitting in the future. And the Nine of Pentacles is here. This is somebody who is self-sufficient, somebody who values themselves, somebody who may have money, could be. But this is all about my future, and I really value myself, and I value Capricorn. And I'm so looking forward to the future, and I have a lot of faith in it with the Hierophant. Somebody may want to marry you in this reading, because the wildflowers can be the most kind of splendoring, or splendid, kind of full of splendor type of awakening and new beginning as well. And also in the near future, Seven of Wands and Eight of Swords. This is resisting something, releasing myself, and to have something now that I now believe in. A marriage could end in this reading. Remember, we saw the woman reading the card that's brought her so much sorrow. Let's get a card on the near future here, and we have the Eight of Swords with the World card reversed. Yeah, the World card reversed is about unfinished business. This can definitely be a renewal. It can be that somebody needed to really grow up here, and they have finally done that. It really can. They really grew up here, and this is a huge game changer, as it always is. Because once you realize your power and your divinity, and you are mature, right? I mean, maturity is a big part of that, right? Once you realize that, then it's a whole different ball game, and that's when you really start to live your life, right? Yeah, once you mature is when life starts, right? Carl Jung says the same thing, right? Who is one of the most famous kind of spiritual, either psychologists or psychiatrists, right? Much better than Freud, sorry to say, and they teach Freud more in the school, so there you go, right? Yeah, yes they do, because I've gone to college. Maybe they've changed that, but I feel like they're teaching the same old. They use the same old medicine that they've always used. Yeah, they do. All right, guys, not to talk about that, but hey, but yeah, I always thought Carl Jung was much better, right? And he could see so much deeper. Yeah, he could. Yeah, he could. And he talks about the night of the soul and all the things that are super deep. He does. So here in the near future, we have something beautiful coming. Let's get a card on the Three of Wands in the near future and the Knight of Cups reversed. Look at that. And this is about somebody who doesn't believe. Maybe they were a liar, possibly. Capricorn, this could be this person. This could be also with the Hierophant. I don't believe in a relationship anymore. I went through an awakening with the Surprise card. We'll get another card on the Hierophant. We have the Eight of Cups. Look at that. And somebody's walking away from something that was really unfulfilling, but they had themselves there, right? So you have a new beginning coming, Capricorn. Basically, I feel like you do. And it all has to do with somebody's awakening or their maturity. It's a huge, it's a big game changer here. And this may be you or this other person, right? But it doesn't really matter. It is what's going on here. It's something really beautiful happening for you, Capricorn. I'm going to end this reading. Thanks so much for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell in order to receive my notifications. When you like, share, subscribe, it helps me to keep these readings coming. And also, if you want to get a reading with me, everything is in the description box. Thank you so much, you guys, and make it a great day.